I'm gonna
I
go
think
first.
did you
John.
say did you
John.
say for me to go first?
I'm going first.
We've been dancing
John.
for a while. We're still stepping on toes, Sean.
No, I've been letting you lead. I am gonna let you lead, but John just it's just so funny when he starts these calls. He's like, fuck man, I gotta get my hair done and like it's like you just woke up.
Yeah,
But I don't think but you've been up for a while.
yes. When you have a 5-year-old, Sean, we're gonna circle back to this conversation. Everything's gonna make sense.
Dude, I might not. I've been reading so much about like just child-free living. I
I
might
think
just
that's a
have
new
that.
thing. It's I feel like millennials, maybe Gen X, but more so millennials. They're trying to be better parents, of course, right? Because millennials are the first, I think, real generation that is really working on themselves and not wanting to repeat patterns from our parents. But also, dude, I think millennials are the generation where they're like, wait a minute, not having kids is also attractive and an option.
Yeah.
That's never been a thing. That's never been the island to swim toward. It's always been the picket fence. And millennials are like the picket fence has fucking I was gonna say spiders, splinters.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of like posts on Reddit about child free in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and if people are
Yeah,
regretting it. And it's
yeah.
like, who knows how representative it is, but I think some people do and some people don't, and they really enjoy having a child free existence, and they can be
So
great uncles and aunties, and
yeah,
they can mentor kids in other ways.
I think you would be an amazing dad, but I think that would start at the child being around 5.
Okay, I just had to mark that clip because you cut out and then I was talking and then I think you were talking at the same time.
I think you would be an amazing dad, but I think that would start at around 5.
Like it would suck for the first 5 years.
Dude, I can't imagine you. I think in the first 2 years you would go through kind of a depression because
Maybe
of
I
the
can just like adopt a 5-year-old.
yeah. I'm starting to now. Logan's almost 5. I think I told you. I'm starting to now really enjoy being a dad. The vision I always had was taking my daughter in my vintage truck on Sundays to get pancakes, and those kind of things don't happen until they're about 5. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
You
have a
need a
vintage. I don't have a
yeah.
vintage truck, and my daughter hates pancakes. By the
Does she hate pancakes?
way, yeah, she hates pancakes. I don't know why.
Oh, that's weird. That's a weird thing to hate. Um, I think you can have a fulfilling life without kids.
Yes, and that's the thing that people are realizing, and I think we're also like, I don't care if you judge me, it's my life. Before it's like you have to have, what is it, the 2.2 kids, and you have to have a house, you have to have all these things, all these shoulds, and that whole blueprint is being ripped down.
And those things are harder to acquire now
Yes.
and pay for.
Oh yeah, especially a house.
Dude, childcare?
Hey, listen, I never thought monogamy would be on trial ever in my
Yeah.
life, and that's
Yeah.
even happening. So it's a really interesting time. What I kind of go back to is customization, and I think that's empowering. You get to customize your life now more
Yeah.
than ever before.
Co-create.
Hey, it's a little late to say, but this is our Christmas episode, and I'm not sure yet what's going to make it Christmassy.
Well, I'm not quite ready to transition to the live episode we did a few days ago, but that's also a Christmas episode.
We could have two.
We're gonna have two. I still want to talk about this kid thing.
Yeah.
I wrote a thing saying I might not have kids, and I got a lot of
Pushback.
no,
No.
beautiful feedback
Oh.
from women saying, "Oh wow, interesting. Like you don't usually get this conversation from the man. Like it's
Right.
usually women that are saying I might not have kids. You don't hear it from the man side."
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Because I can
And
still have kids later, But even
right.
though what happens, like the sperm isn't as fresh.
Yes. But you have a lot more time than a woman.
That's
Have
true.
kids.
When
Yeah.
did how old were you when you met Vanessa?
Uh, so I had Logan at 46 or 47. 46. 46. I'm doing math with my fingers still. 46 I had Logan. I met Vanessa probably 2 years before that, so 40. 44.
44.
44, yeah.
Okay, I still got time.
I'm 51. How old are you
Uh,
now?
I'm 42. I still got time. With the John Kim timeline, I got 2 years.
Dude, 2 years? I mean, your life can be radically different in 2 years. I mean, think about this. Where were you 2 years ago? And look at where you are now.
I
As
was in
far as like this.
Flagstaff,
Yeah.
skiing and not really happy. Pretty unhappy actually.
Yes. I didn't know you
Not
2 years ago. We didn't have this podcast 2 years ago. You're now in Los. I mean, so much has changed, and it's only been 2 years. So yes, 2 years from now, you could be a
yeah.
whole different place.
I'm excited. I might have hair 2 years from now.
You might have hair. You're definitely gonna have more tattoos at the rate you're going.
That's for sure. My next
Yeah.
one's in February.
Wow.
Hey, I'm
Yes.
excited. I like it.
Yeah. It's you're going very fast with the tattoos. Very
That's how I
fast.
go. Hey, John. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We're both wearing green. We did not plan it.
No, and we also wore black at our live podcast. We didn't plan that either.
Is it like, you know how women, when they hang out
Period
a lot,
syncing.
the periods? Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
We're
don't finish
syncing.
my sentences, Shaun.
Sorry.
Don't finish my sentences. That might be what's happening to us. We're showing up and we're wearing the same colors. There's a very subtle stuff happening.
Hey, you have a hard stop this morning.
Why do you have to announce that, dude? I thought you were going to say something else. Like, dude, what are you talking about? And how do you know? Because the camera is only waist up. Anyway.
You have a hard stop because you want to go to the gym.
Yes, I want to try to take 10 a.m. because it's Christmas time and I know the wheels are going to fall off. I'm going to be eating bad. I'm going to be getting lazy. I'm going to be relaxing. So I'm trying to get a couple more classes in.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Hey, listener, Shaun said, and I'm really proud of Shaun because Shaun said before moving to LA, when I get there, dude, we're going to go to the gym. We're going to be bumping chests. We're going to work out together. He got here and he went into the world of badminton. Badminton? What is it called?
Badminton.
Badminton. I don't even know what the fuck it is, but he got into that world and he started hanging out with other Koreans, right? And so I was like, Shaun, what happened? Meet me at the gym.
It's totally other Koreans.
It is other Koreans. A sea of Koreans, not just one other Korean.
So many Vietnamese, Indian, and Filipinos also.
And I was like, Shaun, you talked a lot of shit about meeting me at the gym. And then, but I also didn't want to like nag or pressure him. I don't want to be annoying. He said, listen, just give me some time. He went once by himself and here he is now again today. Wow, that's awesome, man.
Well, so there was a few things in the way of me joining the gym. First of all, it's not super close. And I like to work out close to my house. And I'm not comparing. You live further away and you make the drive easily. So that's one thing.
Welcome to Los Angeles.
Totally.
Everything is 20 minutes away. You have to accept that right now.
Yeah, I'm learning. I'm trying to learn how that works.
Yeah. This
Number
is not
two,
New York. You don't just get on your bike.
Sticker shock
What
for
is
the
that?
price. The price.
Oh, again, welcome to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I know. Dude, my credit card bill is higher than it has been in a long time. Just moving to LA and eating out and there's always startup costs to moving. Actually, moving is very expensive. That's why most people can't move. They can't afford to move.
Yeah. Would you say Los Angeles is the most expensive city you've lived in so far?
Oh.
No, San Francisco. San Francisco, right?
I think LA and San Francisco are pretty comparable.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I go get coffee, a pour over, it's $10. I tip. I buy Logan a bagel. Like, I just get coffee and it's $20. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, hold on. Dude, why are you getting $10 pour-overs?
I'm a coffee snob. We've already established this.
I know,
Coffee's my thing. That's my indulgence.
The filter coffee is just as good.
No, I got to do the pour-over, man.
You want to be special. You need the special beans.
I need them to put it through the
grinder,
flask and the whole science experiment, and then it comes out dripping like honey. And then by the end of it, it takes like 10 minutes. You're just sipping this coffee, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is like, it just tastes like honey. It's amazing." There is a difference, and if you're not that into coffee, you probably won't know. If you put cream or sugar in your coffee, you're not going to know. So I drink mine black.
Are you okay? It's funny. I I was like, huh, we just talked a couple days. We just did an episode. Are we going to have stuff to talk about? It's like there's no end to the shit that we
You
can
almost have
talk
to pull us
about.
apart. You got to pull us apart because we're like two toddlers at the playground.
I've got like 10 things on the list.
I
We're
know.
still at Merry Christmas. Are you a light roast guy?
And I have a heart out.
We have a heart
Oh,
out.
we have a heart out. Okay, great. Dude, can I just be honest? Can I say something real quick? I had this moment because because this is technically work. I felt because I texted Shaun. I said, "Hey, listen, I have a hard out at 9:30 to get," but I didn't say to get to the gym. At first, my text was, "I have a hard out because I have an appointment at 10," and I was like, "Just tell him you're going to the gym," because I thought you would be like, "You're going to the gym? Like, are you putting that over our podcast?" And then I thought, like, just be honest. What's wrong with you? And so then I put, "Hey, I have a class at 10." Had no idea that you were also attending.
Well, here's the beauty about being honest, right? Is it inspired me to say, oh, I looked up the workout and I was like, oh, I want to go.
Nice.
Right. And if you had set an appointment, I wouldn't have gone.
I think in different work situations, I would smudge, I would lie, I would be kind of vague, and I don't want to be that way with you. And why do I need to? Do you know what I'm saying? So
also, we always end on time.
Yes,
we
but
always end an
I didn't
hour.
I didn't want you to feel like I'm putting something like the gym, which can be filed under recreation, over, our baby.
Oh, you and I are gym files under like self-care, mental health, physical health. Dude, we're old. We need bone density.
Yes.
We're middle-aged men.
Yeah. Hey, listener, bone density is a thing. So you don't just do squats to have a better butt. And I would say, especially women, it's proven we become like just fragile glass as we get older. So
brittle.
Brittle. So one way to have more bone density is to lift heavy things. So thank you for that reminder.
Actually, the only way to increase bone density is through resistance training.
Oh, is it? There's no
other
way, huh?
You have to stress the skeletal system, and there's no other way of stressing the skeletal system.
Yeah, and I don't want to be 80 and be terrified to walk down a flight of stairs,
You'll have insane arthritis everywhere. But
at least you won't break. At least you won't break.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's what kills old people is a fall.
No, I know. People actually fall and they can't get up. It's not funny. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So light roast, medium roast.
Always Ethiopian? Always light Ethiopian. I'm not a big fan of dark roast. I like the light, kind of tangy. Yeah.
We're on the same page. Yeah. Dude.
Unfortunately, light roast equals more caffeine. I don't know if you know that. So I'm very
caffeinated. I know that.
Yeah, I'm very caffeinated.
That's why I like it.
Hey, real quick, how was your weekend? We all are interested in your LA experience. Anything exciting happen? Did you meet someone at the dog park? Did you go on a date? What happened this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? Other than our live podcast recording on the rooftop of Mama Shelter in Hollywood,
which was amazing, and thank you. Which was
amazing, and what we're gonna thank you for coming. We're gonna talk about that. Actually, I have some questions on how we can do that better. I think I've got a few ideas, personally speaking.
When you said thank you for coming, the title of your next book.
Title of my next book. Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Finally.
Okay.
So everybody, I've been trying to get John, instead of saying that's what she said, because I don't want to take away he likes that. He likes
I'm a
that.
dad. I'm holding on to that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, instead of doing that, say that's the title of your next book.
And then I would say, break up on purpose. He's like, no, that's not, that's not, I didn't know what you meant. You said title of your next book. And I'm like, well, okay, break up on purpose. And you're like, no, John, that's not how it works.
Like, so if John says something like, oh, it's getting hot in here, I could be like, title of your next book.
Right. Instead of saying, that's what she said. Okay.
That's what she
now
said.
I get it. I thought when you said title of your next book, I thought you said just insert the title of your next book.
And then he goes, yeah, break up on purpose. And I go, what are you talking about? Which is cool because John's an author. Yeah. He can say that. Most people can't tell you what the title of their next book is,
Yeah.
Or story of my life or something. Yeah, what's up?
I love that Shaun knows all these things. He taught me also this little heart thing that you do with your hands. It's a very is it a Korean thing, K-pop thing?
Yeah, Korean heart.
Korean heart. Is this because you've been hanging out with all the Koreans playing badminton? Where did you learn this?
I learned this from my marketing mentor, George Kao, who's also Korean.
Nice.
Yeah. You know what's
It's
funny
adorable.
about the world of badminton is that I'm the only white guy.
I know, that's so strange. I thought I would assume bad anything that looks like tennis, it's all white people. For some reason, that's just
Yeah,
my
it's very competitive, very Asian, and it's kind
yeah.
of scary to walk into a new space.
What attracted you to badminton out of or is this something that I just didn't know that you were always doing?
My
Is
dad and I played when I was a kid,
Oh, okay, so
and then
this goes way back.
it goes way back. And then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we played on and off, and I have played on and off like my whole life.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just know I've heard nothing about badminton in your life. I've heard motorcycles, I've heard cars. There's a lot of overlap in our hobbies and interests. And then out of nowhere, he's part of this badminton community. I was like, where did that come from? But
Yeah.
there is
A-
history there. There are roots.
Angel City Badminton Club.
Okay.
Here's the crazy thing about badminton. Every time you say, "Oh, I play badminton," people like laugh
Yeah,
or
I
they
know.
snicker.
I sensed that around you while we were eating lunch. People were making fun of you, and then you started saying that I'm like Olympics level or above.
Yeah, I'm better than
Yeah,
Olympics. You know, it's an Olympic sport. I thought people don't realize that it's an Olympic sport. And
that's
so anything
crazy.
that's an Olympic sport was going to be played at a super high level.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it
You're
is
the only
annoying,
friend.
actually.
You're the only friend I know that plays this, which I love. I love the fact that it's different, unique.
I'm the only friend I know that plays this.
I think it reads great on the singles profile, so it's all good.
It sure does.
Yeah.
And it's funny because tomorrow at the badminton club, they're having like a Christmas Korean potluck and badminton
Mm,
night.
mm.
That's the LA shit right there, dude.
That is some LA shit. I'm glad you're
Um,
not into bingo or
Not
even
yet.
chess. Yeah,
Not yet.
that I'd be like, Sean, come on, man.
So my weekend was good. The live podcast was great.
Yeah.
You know, we forgot to sign off the podcast like in our normal way.
I think we were nervous. We forgot.
Totally. You
Yeah,
didn't say be well. I didn't
I
say have a
know.
beautiful week.
God,
You at least thanked people for coming. I didn't do that. I was just like trying to make jokes, you
there's
know.
something about a live event podcast that is so different, and I wonder if the episode when we hear it is going to be not good because we're so focused on the live audience. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, the interesting thing is I think this episode is going to air after. So I think I'm going to
Yeah,
get the episode.
right.
I'm going to edit it. I'm going to upload it, and then
Yeah.
this one is going to come out the day after.
Yeah, let us know what you think. Does a live podcast work? I know when I listen to live podcasts, they're usually not as good or as intimate or as it's because I get it. The hosts are focusing on the live audience, so they're not
Yeah.
thinking about the experience of the listener at home.
Yeah. And I mean, right now, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm just connecting with you, knowing that it's going to be entertaining and valuable to some people.
But that's where the potency is.
It's a potent drug, man.
Yeah, you connecting with me connecting with you, and then the listener listening. Fly on
All
the wall.
right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. What is your connection to spirit? I want to talk about spirituality.
Where are you? Did you just pull this shit out of a hat? What are you
No,
getting
people have
this?
been curious. Like, we don't
Okay.
really talk about spirit or God or
Yeah.
spirituality.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned real quick, you're like, oh, I was having coffee and meditating. And it's like most people don't meditate and have coffee. And so I'm like kind of curious, like,
Yeah.
what's your wake up routine? What's your meditation practice? And then also and that's all kind of connected to spirit.
I'm very thirsty and curious about spirit, about things greater than myself. I don't see myself as kind of a spiritual person, but what's interesting is the people around me, people like Danae and other friends. They're like, John, I've always seen you as a spiritual person. I'm like, and I think in my head, I think a spiritual person means they're praying, they're wearing beads and all this, and because I don't do that, but they're like, no, it comes out in your writing, it comes out in the way you show up and stuff, and so I've been kind of redefining what it means to be spirit filled. Uh, a spiritual person I don't like because of the crust commercialization of wellness. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of bypassing. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
um, I like spirit filled. Are you? And I think that some days I'm on full, and other days I'm at on E. But I'm definitely more, especially as I'm 51 now, interested in being spirit filled and what that looks like.
Yeah. Anal beads are a type of bead that you use that are
Yeah.
very spiritual.
That could be kind of spiritual. I don't have any. I don't have any. Speaking of anal beads, Shaun gifted me. Shaun has his own sex toy. It's great because he calls himself the Love Drive, so it matches right up with this toy. It's a beautiful toy. It's made of glass.
Yeah,
It's made of
Pyrex.
glass.
Pyrex.
Yes, Pyrex. And can I ask you something about this toy? So
Sure.
it could go anywhere, or is it specifically for the anus?
Don't worry, people. We'll get back to spirituality. But
Hey,
prostate
listen,
and G
this is
spot
how we roll.
orgasms. Yeah. Well, P
Always
and G
back to
spot.
sex and dicks.
This is spiritual. Connection to self is spiritual, right?
Sure, it can
And
be.
connection to
Sexual
pleasure.
experiences can be spiritual. I mean, isn't
So
that? Yeah.
it's a dual sided curved glass
Right.
wand
With
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 two
with
different
barbells, or with what are those
bul-
called?
like bulges,
At each end.
knobs,
Yes.
knobs on each
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
So you know what it looks like.
Looks like a smiley, like a smile.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's for P and G spot stimulation. So it's for the
What's
G
P?
spot, the
What's a P
prostate,
spot?
the prostate,
Oh, okay.
the
Oh, it's for
male G
both.
spot.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. It's for his and hers. It's called L. And it is pink, but also who cares, right? You can put a pink thing up your ass and it doesn't really mean anything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the gift. Go get this. It's beautiful. And
Link
I
in the show notes for
yes.
the L. It gets shipped discreetly. It's really fun. It's literally the only toy that I've used consistently, either on myself or on my partner,
Mm.
for like 5 or 6 years.
Wow. Which side do you use? The G or the P?
They both work similarly. I think the
Yeah.
bigger bulge is a little bit more interesting, but sometimes you can
Mm.
get a little bit more finesse with the smaller bulge.
Okay.
I wish I
I'm there.
could. You don't have it next to you, do you?
I don't have it next to me. It's inside me right now. I'm sitting
Oh,
on it. No,
nice.
just kidding.
Yeah, it's fun. It's also my first collaborated sex toy. So it's really fun to do
So
that.
I had a moment of being proud of Shaun when I saw his face on the box. So it wasn't just like he's endorsing a product. He integrated it, so it's his product as well. So when I saw his little face on the box, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" So
Yeah, it's cool, and it's we did a like sort of a co-design with the women at Girls Get Off. Viv and Joe were like two amazing women that I've loved working with. So it was like a fun partnership.
It looks very classy, very high end, and it's great. I love it. It's very maybe we'll bring one or two to the retreat and give them away. We'll see.
Oh, definitely. There's a shipment that's supposed to arrive to my house that wasn't delivered because I live in one of those weird my address is like whatever like 275 and a half, and so like they can't ever find the half.
Dude,
it's lost. It's in DHL hell at this point.
Yeah, but you know what? It's going to people who are going to open it and be like, "Oh, I would have never bought this, but now that it's here, what is this?" And maybe it's gonna. You're helping people.
Yeah, I guess, but it's my box. Like I was supposed to get it.
Yeah,
I want it. Yeah.
Listen, I just had a thought. Imagine we have a little box like when you go buy fireworks. It's like a little starter kit. And for the people coming to our retreat, it has break up on purpose, and then it has a sex toy, some cookies.
Some cookies. Yeah, I was just thinking cookies in a bag of coffee.
It has a little a Valentine's love thyself starter kit.
Wow.
I don't know what else would be in there. Lube.
I feel like I think we have to do that now.
A journal.
We have to do that.
Yeah, good coffee.
Okay, everybody, February 14th, 15th, 16th, Love Thyself Retreat. I think we're like almost half sold out now.
Yeah, bring your favorite onesie. Shaun and I are going to be rocking onesies.
Bring your favorite onesie. You can expect some of this and then maybe some more, intentional process workshop.
Yeah, we'll give real lessons.
We'll give real lessons.
We do. I promise. I'm a real therapist. I have the license here somewhere.
Yeah, I've taught a lot of courses, groups, and retreats.
Yeah, you're great. I've seen you, man. You're great.
So spirit-filled. I like that.
Spirit-filled. Where are you at with spirituality?
Well,
do you consider yourself a spiritual person?
I think I do, but not in the way like that people go to Joshua Tree and smudge sage and pray to the four cardinal directions, that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, which I don't have a problem with that. It's just not my brand of spirituality. I got sober in AA. And so they,
Mm.
I don't want to say they shove it down your throat, but
Yeah.
like
Higher power.
higher power is a
Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
part of getting sober, right? Is like turn your will and your life over to the care of God as you
Mm-hmm.
understand God. And that's for me, just like, it could be anything. It could be the
Yeah.
language of the universe, could be the waves in the ocean. It could be the spirit of the world. And so for me, I've had a higher power. And interestingly enough, the more AA I do, the more spiritual I feel. Hold on. And I haven't been going to AA that much recently. And so I don't feel as close to my higher power as I normally do. When I'm doing a lot of
Mm.
12-step recovery, if
Right.
shit hits the fan, the first thing I do is like, oh, where's God in all of this?
Mm.
Like, what's the lesson? What am I supposed to take away from this?
Yeah.
And then when I'm away from my spiritual practice, I go, fuck, why is this happening to me? Why
Yeah.
me? Why me? And I'll sort of like, it's not a very spiritual perspective.
Right.
I'll take things really personally and I won't sort of take a beat. So that's been a little bit of my experience. And I will say that recently in these last 3 days, I've gotten back into meditating.
Mm-hmm.
15 minutes in the morning, like first thing in the morning, 15 minutes. This is like drink water, pee, meditate.
Mm.
And then journal for a page and then take my dog out before picking up my phone.
Wow.
Because
That's
normally
great.
I just pick up my phone
Yeah. Of
and
course.
then I'm scrolling in bed from 6 to 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And that's a fucking shitty way to start the day.
Yeah. When you're journaling, is it just free writing you're doing for a page?
Yeah, it's just one page of like, how
Yeah.
you doing? What's up? What are you worried about?
Yeah.
Is this a great day? Will it be a great day? Like whatever.
Can you tell our listener what the power of that is? Because some people think that's ridiculous. Some people think it's a waste of time. I think it's great. What's the power of just free writing
I
a
don't
page a
I,
day?
I haven't really done much of it. I've never really
Yeah.
done like I can't say that I've written like more than like 40 or 50 days in my whole life. Like
Mm.
woke up and wrote a page in the morning. I haven't really done much of it, but I think it just gets me going on the right track. It also
Yeah.
puts down all these worries that I don't have to worry about now they're on the page.
Yeah. What it does is it takes you out of your spinning thoughts. You're taking all your thoughts and you're putting them on the page. It's actually a therapeutic tool. It's a form of processing. It's kind of a very analog form of processing. So this is why people blog so much, or back when blogging was popular. I blogged every day. I think I wrote 5,000 blog posts, and it's one of the things that really helped me through my divorce is blogging, writing, getting stuff out. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's powerful.
It's hard though.
It's hard, especially if you're like, well, why am I doing this if no one's going to read it? You start to make excuses, all of that stuff.
Also, like actually putting pen to paper
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like literally painful.
It's also a dying thing. People don't write anymore. People don't even pick up pens. We don't need to.
Well,
It's
yeah, no one will
phones.
be able to read my journal anyways because it
Yeah.
looks like total garbage.
Hey, is there another way for you to feel spirit filled or close to God besides, so if you're not doing 12 step, are there other ways to tap into that? Because I feel like there needs to be, or else are you just only going to feel spiritual when you're
Yeah.
doing 12? You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's religion. That's how a lot of people are connect to spirit, right?
Are you religious?
No,
Yeah.
but I'm giving other ideas of connecting to
Yeah.
spirit and spirituality. So religion is one, nature is another that I think a lot of
Mm,
people
mm-hmm.
connect with, like getting out. And I think anything that I do, it just has to be without the phone. Like I can't be out in nature
Yeah.
and like be scrolling on my phone. It's like I gotta intentionally put that shit down.
A strong conduit to God, from my experience, is being of service.
Oh, right.
I think
Yeah.
it's one of the strongest ways to connect. I think because when you're of service, you're not making it about you. You're connecting with other people. Your heart is glowing like ET's heart,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's you start hitting kind of higher notes. There's a humanizing quality to it. Whenever I put myself in any kind of being of service, space, I feel very close to God.
What what does that look like for you?
Whenever I'm playing the lottery, I don't feel close to God at all.
Yeah, gambling,
Gambling,
drug
pleasure,
addiction.
yeah, make me rich. Anything that where I'm focused on trying to get rich, I feel very far from God.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Well, what does
but I'll,
service look like for you?
oh, what we're doing. Because many people think, oh, okay, I got to go work at the homeless shelter.
Yeah,
No, that
yeah,
I mean, sure, that could be one way, but whenever you want to create a space where you're sharing gifts, and because I think that's what we're meant to do when we're in service. I think we have to know what our gifts are, because there's the value, and then giving that to the world. Being of service can be like this podcast can be being of service if that's our intention. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah. But that's yeah. It's also connected to work though. Like this.
Sure, sure. But like, if I'm listen, when I do a session, yes, technically, I am receiving. There is an exchange of money, but I'm being of service.
Yeah.
If I
Okay.
do, when you answer a question on Instagram, you are being of service. I
That's
think
marketing for
I
me.
don't. Well, I mean, yes, it depends how you look at it. I see it more as being of service. Listen, when I was coming up in the streets of K Town, and I was broke. I listened to a lot of Wayne Dyer, and what I loved about Wayne Dyer was he was just kind of like an average dude, a dad with like 7 kids, and he followed the Tao. I think it was spiritual,
Yeah.
religion wise, and I don't know if it's religion, spiritual, but he gave me an imprint of what it could look like to be a spiritual person without the beats and stuff. And so I was like, oh, this is cool, because he's a very spiritual person, but he's just
Yeah.
like a normal dude with jokes, and just he's very grounded. It
What you're
was
talking about is infusing spirituality in everything you do
street level spirituality.
and service, even
Oh,
if
that's right.
it's yeah street. Oh, is that title of your
Yeah.
next book?
On purpose. I just have to have it on purpose somewhere on the back, which
I
means
like
I've
that.
sold out, which means I'm not spiritual at all.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We
Anyway.
can hold those together. Um, I am going to go get back to volunteering at the bike
Oh,
co-op,
right.
helping people fix their
Right.
bikes.
That's awesome.
See, I like working with my hands. I like doing things
Yeah,
because I get
I hear
out
it.
of like the relationship stuff. I'm like, oh, you should do this, you should do this. It's like, okay, what's wrong with your bike? Let's fix it. It's like very concrete sort of skill, and
Yeah,
it's like very body based. I like it.
I like it. I like that you work with your hands.
Okay, yeah. So, what's the deal with coffee and what's your meditation look like?
While I'm sipping coffee, I am sitting on the couch, and I'm meditating. I'm getting out of my head. I'm creating distance between me and my thoughts. And the length that I do it is actually the time it takes to drink the coffee. So that's my um, ticking clock. That's my
Hmm.
So the 1 cup of coffee, a small cup of coffee, is how long I do it, and it's not like super active. I'm not like in a. I mean, there's still stuff happening. TV's on, Logan's running around, so I'm kind of in and out of it. But it's the way that I do it. I like it.
Oh, that's cool. Are you scrolling on your phone at the same time?
No, of course not.
Okay,
No, yeah.
okay. But you're able to do it while there's shit happening.
Yeah, what happens is the more I concentrate and go inward, um, the background noise just kind of starts to fade.
And Logan knows that Daddy's meditating.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I'm a little bit of a jungle gym to her, so she might jump on my back, or she'll like climb on my head or something, but it doesn't bother me. I'm now in a state of kind of like inside. It doesn't,
Cool.
yeah, it doesn't pull me out. And I have a friend who says he meets God in the water because he's a surfer,
Yeah.
and so a lot of times most of the times I'll take my motorcycle to the gym, and it takes 20 minutes, and in that 20 minutes I'm totally meditating.
Yeah.
I'm so present. I'm so in a flow state, So
You better be on a motorcycle in LA.
yeah.
Cool. Do you know that I did? Do you know what Vipassana is?
Yes, it's a form of meditation. I didn't know you did that.
Insight. It's a form of insight meditation. I did a 10-day
Wow.
silent meditation retreat
Oh
in
my, that's hardcore. And
February.
like what, 10 hours a day, 5 hours a day?
10 hours a day. Yeah, it
How was that for you?
was intense. This was out in Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Very intense, dude. Like no reading, no writing, no eye
Right.
contact, no
Right.
talking.
Right. It's very
Like
extreme.
full inward journey. Very painful. It's painful to sit for that long.
It's Chinese wire torture to
Yeah,
sit there without a phone.
you're not sitting for 10 hours in a row. Like there are breaks, a lot of breaks, but it's a very intense experience. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but I was. And then at some point, you get to these. There's these 3 hours in the day where you're meditating without moving, so you can't move your
Wow.
hands, feet, your eyes.
So, what was the takeaway after that experience? Did things come up? Did you have insight? What did you get out of it?
That I'm able to do really, really hard things.
But nothing, no kind of a spiritual awakening or
Oh, I started
transformation.
talking to my dad.
Oh, oh, is
Yeah,
that was what
yeah.
did it?
That's
Oh,
where voicemails to dad came from, actually.
oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I talked to him because I needed to talk to someone, you know?
Can we play one of these episodes? One of
Sure.
your voicemails to your
Yeah,
dad? That would
yeah.
be nice.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah,
Maybe one of the first ones or something.
yeah,
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, they're short. They're like five
yeah.
minutes.
I think it's so sweet. I love it.
Oh, thanks, John. You
Hey,
sweetheart.
if I pass one day and my daughter's sending voicemails to me, oh my God, I would, I would be tears in heaven.
Tattoos to dad is what she's gonna do.
And she just gets inked, and it's a
They're all messages to you, yeah.
oh wow, fuck
Because
you.
yeah, when she gets "I love you, daddy," you'll know it's for you.
You know what? Just daddy, not the I love you, daddy. That's a little
Just
creepy.
dad.
Just I mean, daddy's still creepy. It's kind of a stripper tattoo, and also
Yeah.
it depends where she gets it. But I mean, I don't want her to get it on her ass. But like, just the word daddy can be kind of cool and heartfelt. It's really a fine line between creepy and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Should we do a
Questions?
Q&A? Should yeah,
Let's do it.
questions. Look, we're synced up today, brother. All right. Let's see what we got. This is kind of interesting.
My name is Garrett. I'm 34. I'm from Canada. I've been doing a lot of therapy over the last couple of years and very much diving into the concept of one's authentic self and the importance of living a life true to what you want and what you believe to be important. I got in a bit of an argument with my brother yesterday, my brother's a bit old-fashioned. He very much believes in the importance of traditional roles in the household, being driven by good morals, etc. Got into an argument that was stemming from my saying that I believe it's okay to pursue fulfillment and joy, believe it's okay to say no and to be selfish sometimes. He kind of inherently disagreed, saying people need to sacrifice and compromise, and if everyone just did what they wanted to do all the time and had no discipline, world would stop moving, and people would just call in sick to work all the time. No one would invest in relationships. No one would just do the things that they don't want to do. I explained a lot about the importance of not bending to what other people want of you and why I think it's important to find what moves you and focus on it. And I felt like I had a hard time articulating where the line was between finding and living your authentic self and, on the other hand, just being lazy, uncompromising, and letting everybody else down around you because you're prioritizing your own happiness.
Mm.
I'm wondering if you can shed some light on where the difference is between those two things and how we balance them as humans who are trying to grow and be the best versions of ourselves. Thanks. I appreciate it.
I know that was a hard question to sort of like understand and parse out.
I thought he did a great job of being thorough, and also I love that again, a man,
Yeah.
a male
Hey,
caller.
man, leave us questions.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. That's a great question. I don't know if I have the answer, uh, but I can relate to what he's talking about. I mean, what he's talking about is the two tattoos I have, the solid self and the pseudo self, and I can relate to. I mean, I know very few siblings who are on the same page.
Oh,
Especially family members. We're all on a different page, and I could see if family members judging you because you are suddenly this new person, or you're using words like authentic, or solid self,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
so that's happening everywhere. But I think you have to um, be honest with yourself, check in with yourself, and ask yourself. Um, so I believe in this idea of a life container, right? And what is cracking your life container, and and can you protect your life container, and what does that look like, right? So like besides the obvious like toxic people and lopsided friendships and all that, I think he's talking about subtle things where I want to live an authentic life, but also am I being selfish?
Mhm.
And no one has the answer but you. And also, you're the one that has to live with yourself. So if you feel that you are being selfish, or you're shutting people out, or you're judging people, I think you just have to look at it and kind of get realigned. If you feel that you're being honest and standing on truth, and that you and whether it's your brother or someone else just don't align, that's okay too. You don't have to talk to them every day. You can still love them and they can still be in your life, but you could also make that adjustment, which is also very hard. But that's all part of, I think, adulting.
Yeah, I like that. I like the idea that like siblings will rarely get along on everything.
Yeah, I
And
know very few.
I mean, it's funny because my brother has 3 boys and 2 jobs and like a
Yeah,
very traditional
me too.
life,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I was the black sheep of the family, I think probably you too, I'm
me
guessing.
too. Me too. Yeah, my brother got married young. His kids are in college. He's very high in the kind of the car business, and he's made a consistent, safe. His house is almost paid off. He has a very safe life, right?
Yeah.
No risks. Me, on the other hand, all over the place, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Title of our new podcast, Two Black Sheep.
Two black sheep.
Two green sheep.
How do you
Okay,
know
here.
when you're being authentic or you're being selfish?
Well, before I answer that, this guy's brother thinks that everybody should act in a more traditional way because if
Yep.
they don't, the
Yep.
world will fall apart. Well, newsflash, we're already acting the way we are like right now. Some people are more traditional, other people are more black sheep, and the world isn't falling apart. I think that the world actually needs diversity in how we live our lives and what we do with our lives. There isn't room for all of us to have 3 kids, right? The world will explode.
Right. One of the things that his brother will probably have to look at if he wants to is the world is changing, and I'm assuming it's his older brother tracing old blueprints, but the traditional roles are very, very much fading
Yeah.
as the new generation comes up and they decide what is traditional, quote unquote.
Well, what's coming to me is the guy's brother must feel threatened to a certain degree.
Yes, many people do, for sure.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
living a life that's different than mine. So, like, does that mean I made the wrong choice? Or, like, what does it mean that other people are living a different life?
Anything that shakes your foundational core beliefs, right? Like, for example, this whole thing with like gender roles and like, like women should do the laundry and dishes and men should be mowing the lawn. Anything that kind of rocks your core foundational beliefs is going to create resistance. And that resistance is coming from, a sense of loss of control. I don't want to be wrong. This is what we believe. It kind of rocks. It takes like the legs out, and so that's why people hold on to old beliefs so with 2 hands, because they lose a sense of identity.
So, how do we compromise? I don't think I'm the best person at compromise.
I don't think it's about compromise. I think it's about you asking yourself what your truth is. And then, I mean, look, you get to live your life. So whatever that looks like for you, and that as long as it's honest, that's how you should live. And if it's very different than your brother's life, that's okay.
And it's okay to rock the boat.
Yes.
Right. Because this guy's brother is saying, don't rock the boat. Like, do things that you don't want to for the greater good.
Yeah.
Like put your needs aside for the needs of, I guess, the greater good. It's like, that's sort of why people are putting their needs aside, right?
Also, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It could also be somewhere in the middle,
Well, that's where the compromise thing is coming from, So I don't know when you're acting selfishly or you're acting like virtuously.
Compromise, but not compromise of self.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is the classic Glennon Doyle quote. Mm-hmm. This is from Untamed. This is my favorite quote of all time. Mm-hmm. Your only job in life is to disappoint as many people as possible to avoid disappointing yourself even once.
Your only job is to disappoint
as many people as possible to avoid disappointing yourself.
Oh, okay.
Right. So like classic, like an example is like someone asks you out to dinner, you don't really want to go, but you feel bad declining, and so you go anyways, and now you're disappointed. You've disappointed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You've violated your own boundary. You're doing something you don't want to do to avoid disappointing the other person. So rather than doing that, you say, hey, thank you so much for the invite. I'm not available. I just need to spend some me time. That might disappoint the other person, but at least you're being authentic to what you need.
Glennon is a very talented writer, but that quote sounds like you're really taking the long way home to say something.
Oh, what's the short way?
Don't disappoint yourself, or don't self-abandon.
Well, don't self-abandon, but yeah, when I don't know, I like it. I think it's good because it puts the other person, in the room.
Yeah.
Don't self-abandon. It's like, okay, I'll try. But this is actually saying like, it's okay to disappoint other people. As long as you're not abandoning yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
We should get Glennon on here and ask her if we could workshop that quote a little bit.
You think she'll come on?
Well, I want to do micro guests.
Oh, then she'll really come on.
Listener.
Hey, do you want to be a micro guest on our podcast? We're going to give you 6.5 minutes. I know you get, millions of dollars to speak, I'm sure, but
it'll be much cheaper to get her for 6 minutes.
Great. Let's ask Oprah too. Who else do you want to ask? Who would be who would be a dream guest where you're like, John, I know we don't have guests, but fuck you, we're having this person on. It's a once in a lifetime. I don't care what you say, we're having this. Who would be that person?
Obama?
Obama. Oh my God. Yeah.
And
that's it. Anyone else?
Michelle
Obama.
Yeah. Or just Michelle. Yeah. I mean, there's so many people. Keanu for you, like
no.
Heather Locklear.
No.
Heather Locklear.
Keanu. God, listen.
The whole cast in 90210.
My admiration for Keanu is kind of the way he shows up. It's not in a conversation space. Keanu. It's observing him and how he lives his life. It's not actually having conversations with him. He wouldn't be my first choice. Have this, not to, I mean,
I think Obama would be pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, so listener, we're thinking of bringing on. Well, I would like to bring on micro guests. Just 5 minutes.
When you say micro guests, what exactly does that mean?
Small people.
Oh, they have to be under a certain height requirement.
Wee man.
I'm already your micro guest. We have a permanent micro guest. His name is John Kim.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, he's a resident micro guest. No, like I don't want to do a whole episode with guests.
Yes, I get it. It's not a concept. I get it. Someone
pops in for 5 minutes and they teach us something. Like
that's a lot of pressure for 5 minutes. I don't know if that's even possible.
So for the masculine feminine, we have someone like a masculine feminine polarity coach or expert come on and just like lesson. And just give us a little download.
Yeah. I love it. We'll see who's down.
Well, listener, what do you think? Leave us some feedback.
Micro guests.
Micro guests, what do you think? Yeah. I had a podcast idea a long time ago that was called, I forget exactly what it was called, but it was something like, This Is How We Think It Works. And it's me and another guy where we start talking about something that we know a little bit about, like hydraulic brakes.
But I'm not experts.
We're not experts on hydraulic brakes. And we share what we do know, and then it quickly goes to a place where we don't know what's happening, but we're still trying to talk about it.
Right.
Maybe it's called mansplainer or something. And then we'll have an expert come in and actually tell us.
You guys.
And then we end the episode by going like, that's total garbage. That's not how it works. Right. And then we hang up on them. That was going to be the idea.
I like it, except the hanging up part. We could do a form of that. I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about, is bringing a micro guest who's an expert at something very specific, like say the nervous system or codependency, whatever. And then we hear that person. Of course, we riff on what we think, and a lot of times we're wrong or don't know.
I think there's something there. This could be another podcast under our like umbrella.
No more, Shaun, I can't do any more. I can't do any more podcasts, dude. No more podcasts. No more. I'm tapped out when it comes to content.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I love
you
that.
too. You too, man.
You too. Me too.
Yes.
Okay. Should we do one more question, or should we just
do one more question? We've got 9 minutes.
We got 10 minutes.
9.
Okay.
9. I said hard out.
Okay.
Hey, I had a conversation with an old friend about feminism, and he said he's all for equality and old-fashioned feminism, but nothing after the women's suffrage. And I recognize men and women are treated differently in society, and I'm having a difficult time putting it into words for a productive conversation with him instead of getting activated. I don't know if I have a question in that, but I'm having trouble associating with someone who thinks women aren't viewed or treated differently, and he instead says it's women overthinking when it's just a lot of unspoken rules, if that makes sense. Like a small example would be how women have to wear makeup at work to climb up the social ladder and men don't. Yeah, I'm Kat. I'm from Florida. Hope you can help. Thanks.
Can you micro lesson that question for me? Can you put that question into a shot glass so I can understand it?
She's struggling because one of her friends has a very limited view of how women are experiencing life differently than men. Like basically after the women's right to vote, that's where women weren't equal, and then they got the right to vote, and then things are pretty much equal now. So
Things are definitely not equal now.
Things are not equal. No, there's nothing equal about men and women.
Also with minorities, there's the equality is. I mean, I think there's a lot more things happening in the world today than in say in the 50s, but no, it's not. It's not equal.
So she's struggling with how do you maintain friendship with someone who doesn't basically doesn't see the realities of how life is full of inequality, right? Especially when it comes to women, because she's a woman, he's a man, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if that is a deal breaker. It depends on if it's a topic that they could put on the table and have conversations, disagree. It's kind of like when you go home for the holidays and there are certain topics that you don't talk to your family about because there's going to be people throwing chairs, right? And so if you can have that, but then there's a valuable friendship underneath that where you guys overlap on other things, I think that's a good way to do it. There's just certain topics that we just don't talk about. It's okay to disagree, right? A lot of friends do this with politics and who we voted for, right? But
do they though? I don't know that many friends who are like, oh, I voted Democrat, you voted Republican, we're still friends. Like I really don't know that many people.
I have some friends on various threads where I know they voted differently than me, and we just don't talk about that. We talk about other things like motorcycles and whatever.
They voted for Kamala?
No. Oh, I see what you did there.
I just like seeing John take a beat. It's real fun. Hey, if you're not watching this on YouTube,
Sean loves to see me squirm. Sean loves to see me squirm. I have friends who drive raised trucks. I love trucks, but my truck wouldn't be raised.
My truck is
my
raised.
Tires wouldn't be as big. You know what I'm saying?
My truck is lifted with big tires.
Oh, that's right. See, right. And we don't talk about politics.
We don't talk about politics. I think so out of all of my friends, I am the biggest. This is actually really, really funny. I'm the biggest bro out of all of my friends. Like I outbro
me. I'm like the sensitive, I would definitely they would call me the quote unquote and this is not cool, but they would call me the little bitch of the friendship.
Yeah, you're the snag, the sensitive new age guy.
Yeah, yes, exactly. They make fun of me.
I am too, but I've got a lifted Tacoma, and I wear a trucker hat.
Dude, I fucking love trucks. I want a vintage truck. I love trucks. I just don't want to. I wouldn't have the rubber balls hanging off my bumper though. Or
truck nuts,
or a rifle rack.
Truck nuts. It's hard for us to stay with the very challenging topics of feminism and equality when we could be talking about truck nuts.
Also, sometimes I feel like I'm not a woman, so I kind of feel like I don't have a right to talk about stuff like that. I think I have a responsibility to participate and to help move the needle. But I mean, I'm not a woman. I don't know what it's like, I'm trying to learn. Can I just say one thing real quick? I think I might have said this when I was divorced. I got a roommate, found the roommate on Craigslist. And he was gay. He took me to a gay bar. Did I tell you the story?
No.
It was the first time in my life I went to a gay bar. I started getting grabbed at this gay bar. And I don't know if it was like they have a thing for Asian boys, But they were like, and I get it. It's kind of a compliment. They were grabbing me. They were trying to, like one would like tap me on the ass and stuff. And it was the first time in my life I felt like, oh shit, this is what women go through.
Yeah.
I mean, it was kind of fun and complimentary for about 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, get your hands off me. Like, I don't want to dance with you. Quit grinding on me.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what women go through. And I had that moment. Just wanted to share it because I think we need moments like that to truly understand.
Yeah, you were sexually harassed.
Yes. And if a woman told me that, I'd be like, what are you talking about? It's a compliment,
Well, not now, maybe.
Not now, but back then I'd be like, what? I don't get
Hey, everybody, John knows what sexual harassment is.
I've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, he's experienced it firsthand.
But it was a moment. I think I was about 37. It was a moment where I was like, oh, it was very kind of a cold shower moment for me.
Well, I like what you said that like sometimes you feel like you don't have a right to talk about this stuff, but you do have a responsibility to.
Yes.
I think that's totally legit.
Yeah.
I kind of sometimes struggle talking about this because I don't want to get it wrong, but I think
me too. I get scared. I don't want to offend people.
It's fear, but we're trying. We are trying. Right.
That's the whole spirit of this podcast.
I would have a hard time being being friends with someone who's like, yeah, we gave women the right to vote, and ever since then it's been pretty equal. Like I would be like, how do you even?
Right, I agree, but those friends to me aren't really friends. They're peripheral. Like they might be kind of like, we might do some social activity together or we have history, but they're not in my inner circle because you're right. There's a disalignment in just how we see the world and values and all that, of course.
Yeah, I think you have you're more accepting of people that are different or like have different values. Like I'm more likely to be like, I don't even want to play badminton with you. Like I don't even want to.
Right, but you know what I see? You know what I see when I experience someone who's slightly racist or sexist? I see an opportunity to have influence. Like I see an opportunity to be a catalyst, to show up in a way where they could then, in kind of in a Trojan horse way, not
service.
In a very service. I see service, and and you're being selfish. No,
I'm being more. But I am. I think I am. I think I'm being more selfish.
Now, if they are toxic and they are, evil and they're, causing harm, then of course I'm protecting myself by creating distance. But if they're generally good-hearted people and we have history, except they've, have some, I don't know, some thoughts and ideologies that I think, are unhealthy, why not challenge them, in a subtle, good way from love?
Yeah, and I will say that you made a joke there, right, by calling me selfish. I do think I'm more selfish than you are, and I think the beauty in this is that people who are listening, I think we talked about this, we're posters, right? We're like stand-ins.
Yeah.
And like being more selfish might actually be inspiring to some people who are listening who need to be more selfish. And then being more service-oriented is inspiring to people who maybe need to be more service oriented. Yeah. So I think it's beautiful that we are different, even though we're both black sheep or green sheep today.
Or
yellow. And you're not even yellow though, I guess it's a little yellow.
Brown.
Yeah, you're definitely brown. I got a little more like a pink tone to it. We could be inspirational in our differences.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Shaun, I will see you at the gym.
Leave us a voicemail, 657-549-1001. Happy holidays.
To everyone,
Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa,
to everyone who came
Hanukkah.
To Hollywood on the roof. Thank you for showing up. That was amazing.
John is really good at thanking people.
I mean, do you not thank people?
No, I'm more selfish. I totally forgot to thank anybody.
I'll remind Shaun to thank people, the listeners.
Yeah, you did a good job. So happy holidays, everybody. Thank you for being here. It means a lot. It means a lot to. No, I was telling them, not you. Oh my God, John, you're welcome.
Hold on. Let's do something. Say thank you for being here. Say thank you for being here to the audience.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I was talking to the audience.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, listener, thank you for being here. It means the world to us.
Yeah,
and John
be well.
Also.
Be well. We'll hopefully, hey, we'll see you in a onesie. Up in the mountains, Valentine's Day weekend. So
yeah, show notes for the links. Let's go.